Hello, Guru Scott. Today we're going to change the transmission fluid on our 1997 Toyota 4Runner. This is the 4-cylinder version Toyota, so it has the regular transmission without the transfer case. It's two-wheel drive, rear wheel. So what I have today here is I have some Redline D4 ATF, which according to their site they say is compatible with this particular model transmission for the 2.7 liter engine. And I have a measuring cup, a funnel, of course some gloves, 14 millimeter socket. I have my torque wrench. I'm going to set it at 23 Newton meters. I have some crushed gaskets. You have to have these for the drain plug. You always want to replace it. And some 3-bond. I put some of that on the drain plug before I put it back in. Of course, you'll need a drain pan. So what we're basically going to do is take the drain plug out. This type of transmission does not have a regular filter like some transmissions do. It just has a screen. We're not going to attend to that. Normally, if you wanted to do that, you would take the whole pan off and drop it and clean the screen, but we don't need to do that. We change the fluid out fairly often. So all I'm going to do is take the drain plug out, drain the fluid into this pan, and then I'm going to reinstall the plug, and we're going to measure how much fluid we took out, add that much fluid back in through the dipstick, and then we're going to take the truck for a drive, bring it back here, we're going to do that again, and then we'll be finished with the whole job. So I'm going to get started here in a second, so I'll show you what to do next. Okay, here's the drain plug on this particular type of transmission. If you notice, it has just a drain plug. It doesn't have the plug to check for level, for how much fluid you have. Some of them have like an overflow plug, and then some of them have a fill plug on the side. This one is very simple. Just get the drain plug out, drain it out, measure the amount of fluid, and then put the new amount in through the dipstick. So I'm going to take the plug out, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, here's the drain plug, new crush washer. I'm going to put a generous amount of 3-bond on here because it looks to us like they may have over-torqued the plug previously. We may have to go buy a new plug. We're going to gently put this in and see what happens. But it should only be about 23 Newton meters. Anything tighter than that is just plain old wrong. That's why I like to do work myself, because a lot of times when you take it to the dealer, like we had Toyota do this previously, they just use impact drivers and stuff, and that's not a good way to treat your vehicle. So we're going to reinstall the plug, torque it to 23 Newton meters, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Okay, I'm just going to tighten this up to 23 Newton meters now, and there it is. 23 Newton meters. So that should be tight, has a new crush washer on it, should be okay. So now I'll measure how much fluid I took out and start adding that much back in, and then we'll take it for a drive and see how it runs. Okay, I'm ready to start measuring this transmission fluid I took out so I can put the same amount back in. I have a 1 gallon waste container here. I have a measuring cup I use for things like this. So I'm going to measure out 1 quart at a time, put it in here, and see how much I come up with. So we'll do that. We'll be right back. All right, at this point we've measured out 2 quarts plus just slightly under 3/4 of a quart more. So we're going to put 2.5 quarts into the transmission, take it for just a spin around the block, bring it back, and we want to do a measurement and see if we need to add or just what. I don't want to overfill the transmission. You can always keep adding. So that's what we'll do, and we'll be right back. Okay, the fill is over here. That's where the dipstick check is. It's got a red top on it, and I'm going to use a long neck funnel like this. It's very clean. We ran alcohol through it to make sure it was very clean. Has to be free of any grit, debris, particles, any kind of contaminants. Same thing with this, we cleaned it out very thoroughly. So everything has to be very clean when you add transmission fluid in. So we're going to add 2.5 quarts, take it for a drive, measure it, and then see what we need to do. So we'll do that real quick, and we'll be right back. Okay, I went ahead and put 2.5 quarts of fluid in. We drove it around, and now we're checking it. And it's not fully hot, but it's pretty hot. And there's a cold and a hot mark. Cold mark's here, hot mark is here. So it looks to me like at 2.5 quarts, we actually have pretty much right on at full. So when I check it, it comes up slightly, just it's right to there. There's hot mark, there's slightly past. So I'll check it again when it's cold and then see how it looks and make sure it's not overfilled, but I don't think it could be since we put in less than we took out. And that's all there is to it, so thanks for watching.